The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you arrive in the land of your dwelling place, which I am giving you, and you make a fire offering to the Lord, a burnt offering or sacrifice, namely a peace offering, for an express vow or for a voluntary offering, or on your festivals to provide a pleasing fragrance for the Lord from the cattle or from the sheep. The one who brings his offering to the Lord shall present a meal offering containing 1/10 fine flour mixed with a quarter of a hin of oil and a quarter of a hin of wine. For a libation you shall prepare with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice for each lamb. Or for a ram you shall present a meal offering containing 2/10 fine flour mixed with a third of a hin of oil, and a third of a hin of wine. For a libation you shall offer up a pleasing fragrance to the Lord. If you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering or sacrifice by expressing a vow, or for a peace offering for the Lord, with the young bull he shall offer up a meal offering consisting of 3/10 fine flour mixed with half a hin of oil. You shall offer half a hin of wine for a libation, a fire offering of pleasing fragrance to the Lord. So shall it be done for each ox or ram, or for a young sheep or a young goat. In accordance with the number you offer up, you present for each one, according to their numbers. Every native born shall do it in this manner, to offer up a fire offering of pleasing fragrance to the Lord. If a proselyte resides with you, or those among you in future generations, and he offers up a fire offering of pleasing fragrance to the Lord as you make it, so shall he make it. One rule applies to the assembly for yourselves and for the proselyte who resides with you. One rule applies throughout your generations, just as it is for you, so it is for the proselyte before the Lord. There shall be one law and one ordinance for you and for the proselyte who resides with you. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel. You shall say to them, when you arrive in the land to which I am bringing you, and you eat from the bread of the land, you shall set aside a gift for the Lord. The first portion of your dough you shall separate a loaf for a gift, as in the case of the gift of the threshing floor, so shall you separate it. From the first portion of your dough you shall give a gift to the Lord in all your generations. And if you should err and not fulfill all these commandments, which the Lord spoke to Moses, all that the Lord commanded you through Moses from the day on which the Lord commanded, and from then on for all generations, if because of the eyes of the congregation it was committed inadvertently, the entire congregation shall prepare a young bull as a burnt offering for a pleasing fragrance for the Lord, with its prescribed meal offering and libation, and one young he-goat for a sin offering. The Cohen shall atone on behalf of the entire congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it was an error, and they have brought their offering as a fire offering to the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord because of their error. The entire congregation of the children of Israel and the proselyte who resides with them shall be forgiven, for all the people were in error. But if an individual sins inadvertently, he shall offer up a she-goat in its first year as a sin offering, and the Cohen shall atone for the erring soul which sinned inadvertently before the Lord, so as to atone on his behalf, and it shall be forgiven him. One law shall apply to anyone who sins inadvertently from the native born of the children of Israel and the proselyte who resides among them. But if a person should act high-handedly, whether he is a native born or a proselyte, he is blaspheming the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among its people. For he has scorned the word of the Lord and violated his commandment. That soul shall be utterly cut off, for its iniquity is upon it. When the children of Israel were in the desert, they found a man gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering wood presented him before Moses and Aaron, and before the entire congregation they put him under guard, since it was not specified what was to be done to him. The Lord said to Moses, The man shall be put to death. The entire congregation shall pelt him with stones outside the camp. So the entire congregation took him outside the camp, and they pelted him to death with stones, as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them that they shall make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and they shall affix a thread of sky blue wool on the fringe of each corner. This shall be fringes for you. And when you see it, you'll remember all the commandments of the Lord, to perform them, and you shall not wander after your hearts and after your eyes, after which you are going astray, so that you shall remember and perform all my commandments, and you shall be holy to your Lord. I am the Lord your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt. To be your God, I am the Lord your God.